Hey everybody, welcome back to Ezekiel's Army. Hey, I had an individual put a comment on my last video, and his comment was pretty simple. Junk silver is better than rounds, meaning silver rounds. And so I thought that was a pretty interesting comment, and I thought we'd put a little math to that and validate this comment or perhaps debunk it. Either way, we're going to do a little bit of math here today, and we're going to go over a few odds and ends. As you can see, I've got a pretty wide variety of things distributed out here on the table, and so we're going to kind of go through these along with a few other tidbits of information and see what we come up with. So let's start out by doing this. Junk silver, constitutional silver, has a silver content of 90%, with the remaining 10% being copper. Okay, so let's look at that. One thing I want you to keep in mind too, well, actually, you know what? Let's discuss that a little bit later down the video trail here. I'm going to turn this camera just a little bit to get a little bit better view. I got my tape measure here to make sure that I don't talk too long. Yeah, joke, kidding. And so we know that junk silver, or constitutional silver, which is retired coinage from the United States Mint, has 90% silver. Silver rounds consist of 99.9% pure silver, or 0.999%. So for every dollar in face value of junk silver, you will actually have 0.715 troy ounces of actual silver. And that doesn't matter what size denomination it is. This has 0.715 troy ounces of silver in it. 10 silver dimes possess the exact same amount of silver. 2 50-cent pieces, same exact amount of silver, or 4 silver quarters. So I hope we got that clear. Okay, so all of these, no matter what fractional denomination it is, has the same amount of silver in it. Currently, there seems to be very little difference in price between the two, and we're going to do the math with this. It seems that junk silver, constitutional silver, is a bit more readily available right now under the current supply and demand conditions that exist in the market. And so we're going to go through this. So let's do some math real quick. So $50 face value of junk silver, meaning whether it's $50 in silver dollars, whether it's $50 in dimes in constitutional or junk silver, same rules apply, 50-cent pieces or quarters, which are what these bags are, okay? This is one bag, $50 face value in junk silver. That is, let me feel, half dollars. That's actually $100 face value. This is dimes, $50 face value. And this is quarters, $50 face value. Okay, so all of those contain, when you do that, at $50 in face value, gives you 37.75 troy ounces of silver in each one of these bags. Well, this one actually is more. This is 75.5 because it's $100 in face value. But this is consistent, okay, throughout all junk silver. And when we look at junk silver for $50 in face value, it's currently selling at these prices, selling for between $1,418.20 for $50 in face value, up to as high as $1,477.29 at current prices. Now we're going to do some more math here. For only 37 troy ounces, or 37 premium silver eagles, which are these, minted by the United States Mint. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm not real sure which way to move for this camera. Left is right and right is left on this. So for that, for 37 troy ounces of that, or 37 premium silver eagles, which are the ones I just showed you, comes to $1,701.63 roughly at today's current prices. Generic rounds, on the other hand, which are things of this nature, showed you one of these in the last video, but there's multiple options on these. These are the Freedom rounds, and there's just hundreds of different ones. There's Indian heads, there's just tons of them, buffaloes, you name it. There's a lot out there. They're all the same, 0.999% pure silver, 1 troy ounce. And so that takes care of that. And as I said, the current prices for those are about $1,280.57 for 37 ounces of that. So according to the math, which never lies, we have junk silver at $39.12 per troy ounce, though this can change from vendor to vendor, but it's not going to change much right now because, as I said, the supply and demand ratio is so different. And so we look at silver rounds, which are the generic rounds. Those are selling for between $33.59 an ounce to $34.61 per troy ounce. And the premium silver, as I showed you, which could be the Eagles, the Canadian maple leafs. I don't know how many of you have ever seen these. Beautiful coins. These are considered premium silver. You also have the Britannias, as you can see. Sorry about the quality of the camera, folks. Good old Queen Elizabeth on there. These are Britannias. These are all considered, and there's lots of others. There's some from Australia, Perth, all over the place, all over the world. So anyway, those are considered premium silver, and those sell from between $42 an ounce to $45.99 per ounce. Now, as I've said in the past, folks, obviously all silver is for investment purposes in one way or another, whether for numismatic value, which means collectability, like some of the coins I showed you in the last one, like collectible mint state, walking Liberty quarters, standing Liberty quarters, the George Washington set I showed you that I'm putting together. Those are considered to have numismatic value, collectible value on those. And that's a whole different category of collecting silver. And as I said, you need to study up extensively before you get into that aspect of collecting silver, if you have any interest in that at all to begin with. And so, as I've said before, in my opinion, or at least the way I try to stack my silver, folks, or precious metals, is this. We have a couple of options. One is that society, or the dollar, let's say, is going to collapse and never return, leaving us to figure out a new method of conducting commerce under a new set of rules for fungible proxy, okay? And number two is it's going to collapse and heal itself, and we will all pick up the pieces and carry on under a new currency or form of currency, whether that be digital, return to constitutional currency as described in our nation's founding documents, and we live on into our golden years enjoying the fruits of our investments, okay? Those are our two options. And so the world is so chaotic, it's too chaotic to make any prediction with any certainty as to all we can do is speculate and hope for a positive outcome out of all of this, one way or another, whatever that means. When I say positive outcome, who knows what that actual definition really means? But something is certain, and that is that the current economic processes we utilize today are going to collapse. That is a certainty. All fiat currencies collapse. They have throughout history. Nothing has changed. And when you have worthless money like this, okay, that is nothing but debt notes backed by nothing with intrinsic value of any kind, a currency is doomed. And they knew that. This was an intentional bleeding off, as I've said before, of this nation's wealth. And we're not alone. We have no monopoly on that. All nations are going through the same thing. Look at what's happened with Venezuela. An ounce of silver will feed a family of 4 in Venezuela right now for 38 days. An ounce of gold in Venezuela right now would buy you a house. And you can look this stuff up, folks. Trust me, I'm not making this up. I'm here to just strictly share information with people that want to know the truth. So looking at the math, it's clear to see that generic silver rounds are the best bang for the buck, such as what I showed you here, okay? Generic rounds of no particular mintage. They come from no national mint, no. And these are the best bang for the buck. If all you're trying to do is stack up silver as much as you can to use in whatever way, however this plays out with our economy. And keep in mind, this applies to silver bars as well. These are 1 ounce silver bars produced by APMEX. There's hundreds of options out there for these. Some get premium prices and some do not. Okay, so again, it's something you need to study up on, folks, and look into these things before you just go out and just start arbitrarily buying silver. I showed you the 5 ounce silver bars that I got here from Fine Mint. Beautiful to have, 5 ounces at a time. You've also got options of this nature. Okay, this is a 5 ounce bar right here of pure silver, 0.999. You have these options, but again, I try and keep them in smaller amounts, because if we are going to use this for fungible proxy, which is a process of exchange, having fractional currency in smaller amounts, like I said, if an ounce of silver will feed a family of 4 in Venezuela right now for 38 days, I mean, what are you going to buy for this amount of silver? You know, maybe a can of soup? Who knows? Like I said, who knows what that is going to consist of? This is all guesswork, folks, okay? All I know is that my dollar is losing value, and I'm going to preserve whatever wealth I can by whatever means I have available to me. And right now, like I said, and I'm going to show you a graph here. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I'm going to extend this out over that beautiful picture of precious metals. And we're going to click over to here, and I want to show you reserve purchasing power. This is a chart right here, and I don't know if you can see this, but if you can, we have a red line starting up high on the left, and it starts at a $100 bill. And what this graph is basically showing us is what the purchase power is of a $100 bill. In 1900, you can look straight up, in the year 1900, the $100 bill had indeed $100 worth of purchasing power. By 1920, that value, that purchase power value of a dollar had dropped down to $40. It spiked back up during the Great Depression a bit, started wavering again during the World War I years, okay, leveled off for a touch of time at around $37 in purchase power per $100 in the 1950s, early 1950s. And as you can see down here at the bottom at the far right, the purchase power of a $100 bill in 2010 was $3.48. Now, any of you that paid any attention to the news and the media and current events knows that we have doled out trillions of dollars and have accumulated to the sum of, at this current date, I believe about $27 trillion in national debt, thus plummeting the dollar bill's purchase power even further down the ladder. We are currently setting at about $1.70 in purchase power for a $100 bill. Now, I know a lot of you might be finding that hard to believe, but trust me, folks, this is fact, okay? Things do not get more expensive. Nothing gets more expensive. An ounce of gold in 1933 is no more valuable, okay? Let me pull this back up. An ounce of gold today is no more valuable than it was in 1933. This ounce of gold was worth exactly what it says, $20 in 1933. It is actually worth still $20. The fact is, the problem is that our dollar is worth so much less. It takes so many more of them to purchase this same ounce of gold. So it's no more value, it's just less value in our dollar. So like I said, it takes so many more to purchase the same ounce of gold. That is the problem. And we can look over here. Let's pull up the APMEX page here, and we can look. Let's look right now. Gold spot price is $1,782.70. That's how much devaluation has taken place in the United States fiat petrodollar. Okay, it's currently down, which is a good time to buy. Always buy on the frickin' drop. $25 down. Gold is currently down $25 an ounce. Silver is currently down, at $30 an ounce. You still have platinum and palladium over here. I don't dabble in those a whole lot. Not sure if I should or not. I don't know a whole lot about those metals, so I pretty much stay away from them. I only try and invest in the things I know about. I've had really good luck with silver. Let's pop over here to some of the graphs, and I can show you that. Let's go over here to the gold graph, and you can see the volatility we're experiencing here, folks, as you look at these things. You know, 1,923 in October. We spiked at a high over here of $1,980, and you can see the drops and the rises in this, where we're currently settled in on gold at $1,780.30 an ounce. as of this day, this time in 2021. We can do the same thing over here with silver. We'll look at that graph. And this is what I warn people about. I'm not looking for a constant straight across the board, folks, because that is a stable economy. When you see precious metals and other things stabilized and working good, but when you see these ups and downs, these drastic ups and downs, okay, you can look back here in September, silver was selling for, and let's go to 1 year. Let's see what we've got. Back here in March of 2020, we were buying silver for $11.90 an ounce, okay? In May, we were paying approximately $14 an ounce. Now you get clear over here, okay, we're looking at February of 2021, we're sitting at a high of $29.49. This is what this tells me, folks. When I look at things like this, think about this as a patient laying on an operating table. Okay, what a doctor would like to see is a constant, smooth, even heart rate or pulse or blood pressure for whatever vital sign it is you want to look at. It should be constant and consistent without any high jumps or low lows, okay? We're looking for consistency here. When I see this much volatility, so many ups and downs in these precious metals, it tells me that the market is unstable, the economy is unstable. This is a prime time to buy into precious metals or other investments, folks. Look, you could be buying Bic lighters for all I care. Anything with any tangible use or function in a human being's life. I don't care if it's a can of soup, working boots, cold weather clothing, ammunition. I don't care what it is. Anything besides the fiat petrodollar is a safer investment than the dollar itself, which is why I'm suggesting something you can hold in your hands, something with actual wealth, is what we're after here, folks. So when we look at this stuff, gold, for instance. Now, I've dabbled with gold. I've got a bit of gold, but I don't see as high a return because gold is already sitting high. And that's not to say that it's not going to sit higher. But silver, even at the current prices they are, even though they're double and almost triple what we were buying them for in early 2020, silver is still a steal because this market, silver is being manipulated low right now for numerous reasons, none of which I'm going to go into in this video. But the primary reason is they use so much of this in industry, it behooves the corporations to manipulate silver low. So you have organizations like JP Morgan Chase that are constantly trying to manipulate silver and maintaining it low. JP Morgan Chase holds an enormous amount of precious metals. And as I said, don't look at what the guy next door is doing. Look at what the very, very wealthy are doing, and they are fleeing from the dollar, and they are getting into real estate. They are getting into precious metals, gold and silver, and things of that nature. So this is what I'm trying to get across. So in essence, the gentleman or young lady, whoever it was, that made that comment on the last video, what turns out to be true is that generic rounds actually, dollar for dollar, are your biggest bang for your buck if all you're trying to do is stack as much silver as you possibly can. But if you're looking at it for potential retirement, you're going to get the highest return out of premium silver such as this, okay? This is where you want to be. If you're going to sell this stuff off and liquidate it, turn it back into cash if there is such a thing when that time comes. God help us if there's not, because we're just going to be wandering through the wilderness trying to figure things out for ourselves. And then you have things like this, like your fractional constitutional silver, which will be used for regular commerce between individuals, such as you and I. If you had a pie and I had something and we didn't want to trade each other, we could work it out through silver such as this, which is why I like having the smaller denominations of silver for the smaller transactions, no matter what that might be. You know, when we get into these rounds, when we get into stuff like premium silver as well, you know, you got to remember they sell half ounces. Okay, this is a half-ounce Silver Eagle. They sell quarter ounces, such as this. And then they sell 1/10 ounces, such as this. And as you can see, they kind of mimic the size of a 50-cent piece, a quarter, and a dime, because it still holds true, just like they had with the constitutional silver. Size still mandates the silver content. So that being said, I got a few deliveries today, and I thought I would open these real quick. I hope this video isn't too long for some of you, but I got some deliveries today, and so we're going to open up a little bit of this and take another look at what it is exactly that I like to invest into. And while I'm at it, I want to recommend a few things, folks. If you truly want to help understand currency, There's a great book out. I put the link to where you can purchase this book, but this book, for people that don't know much, because they certainly don't teach it in our government-run indoctrination centers called schools today, this is a fantastic book. I strongly recommend it for anybody that wants to know the truth about the true condition of our economy here in the United States, and why it is that I believe, along with this gentleman and many, many others, folks, believe that the lifespan of the American fiat petrodollar is coming to an end in the very near future. You can't continue to print money, or debt notes as I call them, and expect them to maintain any purchase power. Just like the Fed told Congress, we can promise you that we will print as many of these Federal Reserve notes as you require to conduct business. What we can't guarantee is its continued purchase power. And that's a frightening statement, folks. So like I said, if you think that meat's getting more expensive, or if you think a box of cereal is getting more expensive, or a gallon of milk, or anything else, it's not increasing in value. What's happening is our dollar is depreciating in value, thus needing more of them to purchase whatever it is we purchase on a day-to-day basis. So keep that in mind. So anyway, one of the first purchases I had made, as I said, in my quest to put together an entire collection of George Washington 25-cent pieces, or quarters as they're better known. 1943, yep, beautifully uncirculated, mint state condition coin. If our ancestors could see what we're spending and paying for these coins today, they'd probably roll over in their grave and ask us if we've lost our minds. And perhaps we have. But the fact is, I love doing it. If I can find my knife, wherever I put that, if I even need it. Like I said, they package this stuff so well. I'm really impressed. I think this one actually came from AppMax. Sorry if that's really loud in the speakers, folks. A lot easier if I just had my knife sitting here. Thought I did. Not sure what this is. Like I said, it's kind of a surprise. I've ordered enough stuff. Yeah, and here we go. And so here's a few more to add to the conglomeration of George Washington quarters in 1940. Don't know if you can see that or not. But regardless, along with numerous others, some of these are just, it's hard to believe that they can get 1939 Denver Mint, Washington quarter, brilliant uncirculated condition. 1939, beautiful coins. It's really exciting. Like I said, stacking silver can get really boring for guys like me. What do we got here? 1938 Philadelphia Mint, brilliant uncirculated. Like I said, I hope you don't mind me showing these to you. This is exciting for guys like me that do this. Again, I apologize for the quality of this camera. That's kind of aggravating. I don't know what it takes to get it. Sometimes it just does it real easy, and sometimes it don't. But you can get the idea. Blast white. There's several others in here. What did we wind up with? A 1937. Try it one more time. If it focuses, it does. If it don't, it don't. Yep, there we go. You can see these coins, and what a joy to put together and preserve, and because that's really all we are, folks. We're just individuals that preserve. Here's a nice one in 1932, first year of mintage for the 1932 George Washington quarter, Philadelphia Mint, the cheapest one of the three. Just beautiful condition. Like I said, thank God people had the wherewithal to preserve these coins from back during that time. What a gift. And again, I apologize for the noise. I'll try and move the package away. This one also, I think, came from AppMax. Oh, that seems loud. Let's see what we got here. Yep, something else I've never mentioned. Copper is really on the rise. I do business with some individuals that are in the medical marijuana industry. And this is one of the copper rounds. Copper is another precious metal that many overlook. But you can see that. So I picked up some copper rounds to hand out to some of the individuals I do business with. So anyway, folks, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it gives you some guidance and direction as to what it is exactly. You know, like I said, when you look around, look at these headlines here, folks. I'm going to pull this back up for a second so you can see this. Look at these headlines. This is frightening, genuinely, when you look at this. Entire Federal Reserve payment system crashes due to operational error. We're never going to know the truth about why this crashed. It could be something to do with people getting in and hacking these organizations' computer systems or whatever. $3 trillion in daily transactions, including paychecks, tax refunds, and bill payments, have been interrupted. And that's just one article on this. We have another one back here. Where is it? Federal Reserve payment system crashed, service restored hours later. Yeah, this is frightening to think that this could happen. This is a big deal, folks, and I'll be keeping my eye on this. Outage impacted banks, brokers, mortgage lenders, and their ability to transfer funds in large and small sums. Yeah, the outage impacted customers, which included, as I said, a Federal Reserve operational error, and I doubt that's the truth, but we'll roll with it because that's the narrative they're giving. It is what it is, and it's happened. This is unprecedented things happening in our financial system, folks. Take your eyes off the stock market. Look what the wealthy are doing. The stock market is rigged, okay? The banking system is rigged. And so for that reason, like I said, folks, this is why we do what we do. And so I'm going to reemphasize this fact. I am not a financial expert. I am just an average guy working my ass off for what it is I have, okay? And I extend the information and knowledge that I thankfully have accumulated with other people in hopes that you will have the wherewithal to do the same and preserve what it is that you're working so hard for, folks. The only thing we truly have of any value whatsoever is our time and our talent. And we can't give that away for free, and we can't let people rob us of that. When we expound our time, which cannot be replaced ever, and we get something in return so that it sustains life for us, I don't want anybody taking that from me. I can't get time back, and I'm not giving my talents away for free. And I wouldn't expect that any of you would either. And so this is what I do to preserve my wealth and the wealth of my loved ones. And so I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate all of you. I love you guys. God bless each and every one of you. Have a good day.